If you want to grow and scale your business, you have to devote some of your time towards your operations and learn exactly how to streamline your operations for efficiency and profitability. Because not only, when you get this right, not only will your business become more efficient, but it will absolutely become more profitable because the two go hand in hand, efficiency and profitability. So today, we're going to talk about exactly that, streamlining your operations using something that I call the efficiency cycle. But before I get into that, I want to just thank you once again for being here. Obviously, these sessions are not meant to be extremely long, filled with fluff. These are going to be straight and to the point, kind of short. The reason that I'm doing these is because I want to help you be able to build and grow a company that could grow and scale without you. Because far too often, I was there and I see so many entrepreneurs and business owners in the same position that I was, where we're on what I call the entrepreneur roller coaster, where if we want to grow our business, us ourselves, the business owners, have to push and push really hard. And we work 12, 16 hours a day and we're pushing and we're grinding and we're motivating our team to keep going. And then the needle starts moving up and revenue goes up and we're excited and happy. And then finally something happens because we can't keep doing that every single day. And burnout sets in and we get tired. And what do? We take our foot off the gas. And then what always happens right after that? The revenue that we were just pushing so hard for starts to go back down because your business is too heavily reliant on you, the business owner. That is what I call the entrepreneur roller coaster. And I'm sure at some level, you have probably experienced that too. So let's dive in today with the efficiency cycle. All right. The 5 key stages of the efficiency cycle are as follows. Number 1 is you need to identify the waste. This is where we pinpoint bottlenecks, inefficiencies, and redundant tasks. Number 2, stage 2, is where we automate, where we implement systems and tools to handle repetitive work. Stage 3 is where we delegate, where we shift tasks to the right people to free up your leadership bandwidth. Because far too often, us as business owners, we are too deep in the weeds of our business and we don't have the time to focus on the key strategies that will actually help us grow and scale our businesses efficiently. Number 4, stage 4, is where we optimize, where we refine the processes to improve performance and reduce costs. And lastly, step 5 in the efficiency cycle is where we improve, where we continuously assess and adjust operations for sustained efficiency. All right, so let's jump and dive right into this. Step 1, where we identify waste and bottlenecks. This matters because the first step to efficiency is recognizing where time, money, or resources are being wasted. All right, so one of the first things, there's a few action steps that we could do here, is where we audit daily operations and identify repetitive, manual, or unnecessary tasks. So let's take a look at your customer journey. All right. The exact process that you take your customers from them first becoming aware of who you are to becoming a paid happy customer and a lifelong referral, So there's a whole process that they go through. So is there somewhere in your customer journey where there is waste and bottlenecks? There's unnecessary steps. When I say bottleneck, quite often us as the entrepreneurs are the biggest bottlenecks of our business. All right. So is there somewhere in your customer journey, just think for a moment, where you personally have to approve something, or where somebody has to let's say when a customer puts in their information, is there some unnecessary step that has to happen before they get a phone call from you? Or, just think for a moment. So a key question is, where is my business losing time? A major factor that people do not work with some businesses, and there were studies that were crazy statistics, which were somewhere close to like 94% of people will not work with a business if they take too long to respond. So if I put in my information and it's been 5, 10, 15 minutes and you haven't responded, that customer will automatically go on to the next business in their Google listing. and try to work with them. And they will typically work with the business who responds to them first. So is there some time gap that it takes from inquiry to response that you could completely eliminate? Can you eliminate that bottleneck? Can you eliminate that approval process? So that's step one. Identify the waste and the bottlenecks. All right. Step two, where we automate tasks. So automation reduces manual work and it speeds up processes and lowers labor costs. So back to that example before, where we identify the waste of a time gap. It takes you too long to respond to your customers. This is where automation really helps us out, because if there's a stage in your process where a customer puts in their information and they have to wait for someone on your team to log into a dashboard to manually check how many leads came in that day and then to manually respond to them one by one. That is wasted time and a lot of wasted revenue. Absolutely guaranteed wasted revenue. This is where automation really comes in handy, because this is one of those low skill, high frequency tasks that can be automated immediately. Customer follow-up. There's absolutely no reason that in 2025 that you're responding manually to your leads. Once a lead comes in, they should automatically be put into an email follow-up sequence. Instantly, the minute that they click submit, automation takes over and starts nurturing your leads, because there's something called the rule of 7. The rule of 7 says that it takes, on average, some people more, some people less, on average, it takes 7, they're called touch points of communication with prospects or potential customers before they will actually become a client. They need to hear or see you at least 7 times before they become a buyer. So why wouldn't you today, in 2025, have an email nurture campaign before they become a customer? As soon as they put an inquiry into your business, they should be receiving automated emails. That means it did not take you any more than a split second to respond to their inquiry, because they will immediately get a text message or an email saying that you heard their request for information and now you are working on it. There's no reason that it should be taking you 10, 15, an hour, 3 hours, 7 hours, because you as the business owner are the one that are responsible for responding to customers. This should be something that's automated and it's incredibly simple to set up. So that is number 2, automation when it comes to your customer journey. Number 3, we delegate non-essential tasks. So why this matters? Because leaders and high-value employees should focus on strategy, not daily busy work. So a question that you could ask is, are you and your team spending time on low-value tasks instead of high-impact activities? You as the business owner, let's just say you're currently creating the proposals for your customers. That, in a sense, is a low-value task, because you should be focusing strategically on growing your business. You should be having somebody else. Or even if your sales manager is currently doing that, they could be spending their time doing something more productive that will actually generate revenue in multiplication. Something as simple as, if you are responsible for doing that, that is something that you could delegate, because it is a non-essential task for somebody at your level or at your manager's level. So identify tasks that do not require leadership involvement and delegate them. You could assign routine admin work to virtual assistants or specialized team members. And you could implement clear standard operating procedures to ensure consistent delegation. You as the business owner should not be down in the weeds anymore, and neither should your key team members, your C-suite if you're at that level, or your managers if you're at that level. They should not be in the weeds of your business. They should be assisting you, helping you grow the business strategically. All right. Now, step 4 is where we optimize and streamline workflows. Now, why this matters is because optimization ensures that each process is running at peak efficiency. So something you could ask is, how can you do more with less effort while maintaining quality? A couple things that you could do is remove unnecessary steps and workflows to simplify execution. Like I said, is there some manual process that has to happen? Does somebody have to print out a piece of paper and walk it over to somebody's desk to get them to sign it physically? Do we have to wait for somebody to do their job before somebody else can start their job? Why isn't both people notified at the exact same time? This is something that a sales pipeline that you can do with your CRM is so critical, because everybody will be on the same page at the exact same time, and you could actually visualize your process. And when you talk about customer journey optimization, where we draw out business process optimization, where we draw out your entire process, there's going to be some stages in there that you just always done because when you started in this industry, you just adopted common industry practice. And it's been the same for the last 15 years. But the marketplace and the market has changed so much in the last 15 years that if you didn't improve or fix or change your process to keep up with market demand, with your manual slow tasks, you are absolutely losing out on revenue and new customers. So another thing you could do is standardize your processes to minimize variability and human error. There should be no reason that any part of your business is still just in your head and nobody else knows what to do. So they have to rely on you to continue doing it for them. Everything that you know should have been or should be or needs to be outsourced and delegated and taught to somebody else. Because it's unfortunate to say, none of us are going to be here forever. We have to be able to continue to run our business if we decided to take a day off, or a week off, or a month off, or that vacation that you've been putting off. You need to be able to step away from your business and it continue to grow and scale without you. That is the true freedom of entrepreneurship. And I believe wholeheartedly that that is exactly why we got into business for ourselves. Standardize these processes, teach it to your team members, delegate the non-essential tasks, automate where necessary, optimize the processes so they remain up to date and efficient. And then lastly, we continuously improve for long-term growth. This is a constant, never-ending cycle. There is always room for improvement. There's something called the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 principle, 80-20 rule, however you want to call it, where 20% of the tasks usually lead to 80% of the revenue. And everything else is just redundant tasks. In a way, they still have to be done, but you as the business owner should not be involved in them. You should only be involved in the 20% of essential tasks to drive business growth. So let's say you're already a little bit more advanced. Let's say you already optimized your time. You are focusing 100% of your time on the 20% of revenue generating tasks that you can be doing. And you are the most optimized person in your business. My homework for you is to now, you need to go and optimize the schedules of your top 18 members, your top managers, your C-suite managers, because not only do you need to be efficient, so do they. Your C-suite members, your managers, your general managers, they all need help, and you need to help them optimize their time. Once you do this, your business will transform so much you will not be able to recognize it. So this matters because efficiency is not a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process. There's always room for improvement. Review the KPIs, set new metrics. If you keep hitting your metrics, say you set out a metric to grow, I don't know, you're at 10 leads a day and you want to get to 15 leads a day. Well, the next 2 weeks in a row, you keep hitting 15 leads a day, you should change your metric and move to 20 leads a day, right? Something just like that. Review your KPIs and improve them or move them forward so you are constantly growing. Gather employee feedback to find new areas for efficiency gains. Because quite often we're sitting over here above our business and we're working on it, but it's really the people that are in the weeds day to day that can actually see the things that we cannot see. It is really a bottom-up phenomenon where we need to set our egos aside and listen to our employees and let them tell us what is wrong with the business. And then we need to work with them and empower them, maybe empower them to take control of that area and fixing it, giving them a new project to work on, giving them some responsibility. People respond well to things like that. If you listen to them, you're the business owner, and somebody that's an intern even comes to you and says, hey, I noticed this. You should not just bite their head off and say, I've been doing this for this, blah, 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 and you don't even know, you just got here. And no, you actually need to take some time and listen to the people that are in the day-to-day weeds, because they see things that you do not see. You need to be able to work with them and delegate some extra power to them to get it fixed. Your business will change rapidly when you start doing this and implementing this efficiency cycle. So that's it for today. I hope you got some value out of this. That is the efficiency cycle, helping you streamline your business for efficiency and profitability. If you got some value out of this, I would ask you if you would, like this video, share it with a friend, subscribe to my channel, because 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, I will be here delivering some free value for you to help you grow and scale a business that does not rely 100% on you. I firmly believe that is why we are here, why we are entrepreneurs, and why we are business owners, is to grow and scale a business that does not rely on us. It's just unfortunate that at some stage our businesses began to own us instead of us owning our businesses. So until tomorrow, I will see you there.